Okay, good morning everyone. So what we are going to discuss right now is all about circles, equation of the circle, and at the same time, how to graph a circle given an equation. Okay, so the standard form of the equation of a circle with its center at the origin is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r is the radius of the circle. So if we take the square root of the right hand side, we'll know how big the radius is. Meaning, for example, if the right side of the equation, say for example, if we have 25 here, so for us to be able to know the radius of the circle, all we just need to do is to get the square root of 25, and that is 5. So that is the radius of that circle. And when you find the radius of the circle, you are now ready to write the standard form of the equation of the circle. Is that clear? Notice that both x and y terms are squared. When we looked at parabolas in the succeeding lessons, only the x terms was squared. So ibig sabihin, yun po yung difference between the equation of a circle and a parabola. Let's look at the equation x squared plus y squared equals 9. So by simply looking at this equation, we know for a fact that the center of the circle is at the point of origin, which is at 0, 0, because x here is squared, y here is also squared, and we don't have any constant together with these terms. So therefore, we are sure that the center of the circle is at the point of origin. Okay, this is r squared, which is 9. So to get the radius of the circle, all we need to do is to equate r squared to be equal to 9, and then get the square root of both sides, the square root of r squared and the square root of 9, then we will have r is equal to 3. Okay, the center of the circle is at the origin and the radius is 3. Okay, let's graph this circle. Okay, the center is at the point of origin, so therefore it is located here in the Cartesian plane. Its coordinates are 0, 0. Ayan po. And then, the radius is 3. So all we need to do is that we are going to count 3 units from the center going to the right, 3 units to the left, 3 units going up, and 3 units going down. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then after we have located those 4 points, we are now ready to trace the graph of the circle using a compass, or you can just do it manually if you are good at it. Okay po? Okay, next. If the center of the circle is not at the origin, then the equation for the standard form of a circle looks like this. The quantity x minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared equals r squared. The center of the circle is at hk, meaning these values here, kanina di ba we have only x squared and y squared, pero this time meron na tayong h at saka k. Yung hk na yon, those are actually the coordinates of the center of the circle. Kanina, sa unang equation natin, we are sure that the center is at 0, 0. Pero in this equation, we have the value hk to be the coordinates of the center of the circle. So meaning if we know the value of h and we also know the value of k, if the value of h is given and the value of k is given, then we have now the coordinates of the center hk. Okay, let's have an example. The quantity x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 16. So from this equation, we are going to identify the value of h and the value of k. We are going to find the center and the radius and then graph this circle. H is 3, y is 1, r squared is 16. So therefore, the center of the circle at HK is at 3, 1. Because we have the value of h to be equal to 3 and the value of k to be equal to 1. So we have 3, 1. How did we get the radius, which is 4? The right side of the equation is 16, and this is r squared. And for you to be able to get the value of r, or the radius, all you need to do is to get the square root of 16, and that is 4. Okay? And then after we have identified the center and the radius of the circle, we are now ready to graph the circle at the Cartesian plane. Ayan po. So this point here is the center at 3, 1. And then you just need to count 4 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 units going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you trace the circle using the compass, or you can just draw it manually. If you take the equation of a circle in standard form, for example, we have the quantity x plus 2 squared plus the quantity y minus 4 squared equals 4, you can find the center and radius easily. The center is at negative 2, 4. Bakit siya negative 2 at bakit siya positive 4? Originally, dun sa equation natin kanina, we have x minus h. Dito naman, y minus k. So, ibig sabihin, dahil naging plus yan, so originally, yung equation or yung expression na to rather is x minus negative 2. Kaya siya naging plus. So meaning, ang value ng h natin is not positive 2 but negative 2. Tatandaan natin, kapag plus yan, ibig sabihin yung value ng h is negative. Kapag minus yan, ibig sabihin yung value ng k is positive. Okay? And then the radius is the square root of 4, and that is 2. But what if it was not in standard form but multiplied out? Say, for example, if you are given an equation like this, it's not yet in the standard form, so all we need to do is to solve for it algebraically. We are going to manipulate the equation in such a way that we are going to rewrite it into the standard form like this. Okay? Let's start. We have x plus y squared plus 4x minus 8y plus 16 equals 0. If we have started with it like this, we'd have to complete the square on both x's and y's to get into the standard form. So what do you think is the first step that we need to do here? Of course, for us to be able to manipulate this algebraically, the first step that we need to do is to transpose or to transfer or to move the constant, which is 16, to the right side of the equation. Or simply, we are applying the addition property of equality. You just need to add negative 16 on both sides of the equation. For this value to be transposed to the right side of the equation, it will become negative 16. So magiging ganito siya. And then after we have transposed this to the right side of the equation, applying the addition property of equality, we are going to combine terms that have x's and terms that have y's. So we have here x squared plus 4x, eto po siya. And then pagsamahin din natin yung mga terms na merong y squared minus 8y, eto po siya. And then 16 when transposed to the other side or applying the addition property of equality, it will become negative 16. And then we have here the third term. Since we are going to complete the square we are going to find out the third term of this trinomial. And also, we are going to find out the third term of this trinomial here. How are we going to complete the square? How are we going to find the third term? Okay, what we need to do is to divide the coefficient of the second term, which is 4. We are going to divide it by 2, and then the quotient will be squared. Meaning, 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, and then 2 squared is equal to 4. So dito magiging 4. How about here? The middle term here, the coefficient of the middle term is negative 8. So we are going to divide it by 2. Negative 8 divided by 2, and that is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is equal to 16. So dito sa third term, magiging 16. So whatever we have added here, 4, and we also have added here 16, whatever we have added on the left side of the equation should also be added to the right side of the equation to maintain the equality. So kung nag-plus tayo dun ng 4 at kung nag-plus tayo dito ng 16, magpa-plus din tayo dito ng 4 at saka ng 16. Okay, did you understand? Okay, so after we have completed the square, we are now going to factor this out. This trinomial is a PST or a perfect square trinomial. We are going to factor this out into square of binomial and also this one. So yung factor po niya ay ganito. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 4 is 2. Since positive yung nasa gitna, so plus yung nandito, x plus 2 squared. This is PST or perfect square trinomial. So yung factor niya is square of binomial. Same is true with this trinomial here. The square root of y squared is y. The square root of 16 is 4. The middle term is negative, so therefore this will be y minus 4 squared. And then we have here, combine these terms here or these constants here, negative 16 plus 4 plus positive 16, that would be equal to 4. And now we have the equation of the circle into the standard form already. Bumalik na tayo doon sa kaninang equation. And then since this equation is already in standard form, you are now ready to graph the circle by simply identifying its center or the coordinates of the center and solving for the radius. The center is at negative 2. Since plus yan, ibig sabihin yung h is negative 2. Minus yan, ibig sabihin yung k is positive 4. So hk is negative 2, 4. And the radius is the square root of 4 and that is 2. And then, yan din po yung equation na binigay kanina. Okay? Okay, that would be all for today. There is no question. Thank you and God bless.